Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Oluwayemisi if you're yet to meet me, and some people call me Shante. Yes, it's so good to be here after like over a year that I have filmed the video on here last. Yeah, I think it's been over a year, and I am so sorry for the long silence. It wasn't the intention, but let's just say life happened, and I'm here to give you guys or to tell you guys what I have been up to, why I took such a long break, and what you can expect from me going forward. And at this point, if you're yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please encourage this girl by just clicking on the subscribe button. It won't cost you any money, and I mean, you can also click on the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you'll be the first to be notified, and you can be the first to watch and catch on with what I have for you guys. Guys, a lot has been going on. I'm not even going to lie, and I just couldn't be here because my hands were really full. For those of you that have remained with me, checked up on me, asked to see when I was going to be posting another video on YouTube, I really appreciate you guys. It's best for you to know that it's because of some of you guys that kept on telling me that I needed to film a video, I needed to come back on here, you missed me and all. That is why I'm here right now doing this thing, because I'm like, these guys are so like amazing. I can't continue to let them down. So let's get right into the reason why we're here, right? Basically, from the time that I posted the last video that I have on YouTube to now, I got pregnant, I got married, I had a baby, and yes, in that order, I've been getting used to the idea of being a mom, which hasn't been easy. Okay, so the last video that I posted on YouTube, by then I was praying to get married, I was pregnant, and after that I had a baby. Through all the preparations, the hula baloo of being pregnant, I mean for the first time and all of that, I kind of like lost touch with being in front of the camera and filming. I mean, for the first couple of months, I wasn't just in the mood to dress up, to be dolled up. I was just like all of my feelings. I dealt with nausea, dealt with the realities of like being pregnant. You understand what I'm talking about. I had my dream wedding. It was really small, pretty intimate, but I mean, I enjoyed every bit of it. It was awesome, guys. It was awesome. And I mean, I didn't post too much about it because it was really personal to me, and I just wanted to enjoy it by myself. Like, so then I got married here, and so in February I became a mom. Yes, guys, I had like the most beautiful girl. Trust me, when I was pregnant, I had a lot of people telling me things and like, oh, this is what it's going to be like being a mom. This is what labor is going to be like. This is what this and this is going to be like. And I like to say now that I didn't pay attention. Even though right when they were telling me, I thought I was paying attention, but I'm like, what could they be saying that could be more than what they were saying? Like, I didn't fully internalize all the information I was getting. Okay, they're like, oh, when you're a mom, your life changes, oh, this, and I'm like, okay, yes, you get to not to sleep at night, you get really busy. Like, I've been in a lot of situations where I've been busy, where I've lost sleep, and I mean, what could the big deal really be? And I'm being honest with you guys, that was like my mindset towards it. So whenever anybody said, oh, labor is this, I'm like, it can't be that bad. Or being a mom is exhausting, I'm like, it can't be that bad. I mean, it was a rude awakening to me when I went through the process of having a child naturally in Nigeria and being a mom. Now, I like to believe that people that told me things before I gave birth and before I became a mom, they didn't tell me the truth, in the sense that they weren't being honest. They didn't say it. They didn't say it was as deep as it really is. They didn't say it in the way that it encompassed what it actually entailed, or what it actually entails to being a mom and like giving birth. Guys, having a baby is intense. Like, it's more intense than what everybody told me about or what I heard about. It is exhausting. It is a lot. It is life-changing. It is everything that I wasn't ready for. Would I say I wasn't ready for it? Yeah, but I wasn't ready for how much of me that it took. And it just came to me like bam, it hit me so hard. A lot of things in my life, a lot of things that I had going on for me suffered. After I had a baby, I couldn't open my laptop for, I mean, maybe the first 2 months. I couldn't even open it to see, to type, or to do any sort of work. I was just lost in the whole process. I was lost in the new life, and I was trying to get a grip on myself and like, you know what, pace myself and just like trying to like get used to the new life and be like, okay, this is what it is now. But I was just unable to get used to it. I was struggling for months, and I would just ask people that had children that, please, how did you guys do it? Are you feeling exactly the way I'm feeling? Did you feel the way I'm feeling right now? Did you experience these things that I'm experiencing, or is it just me? And everybody that I spoke to, like every mother, every of my friends that had a baby, said it's exactly the same way they felt, it's exactly what they went through. And I'm like, so why didn't you guys say it? Why don't you guys talk about it? I mean, I remember when you talk to people and you ask them that, okay, you have a child, how was labor like? They're like, oh, it's painful. No, fam, it's not painful. That is not what you should say. You should say that it is terrible, because that pain is terrible. It's not painful. Like menstrual cramps is painful. You falling off of a bike is painful. You like twisting your leg is painful. Labor pain is not painful. It's excruciating. Yes, my mom likes to tell me that, oh, it's because it's your first child. It's because you were induced. It's because you gave it naturally. I don't care whatever route I went through. All I know is that what I experienced having a baby was out of this world. Like the pain was so much that I felt like I was going to die. I'm like, so this kind of pain actually exists? But I mean, I think I'm going to talk about my labor experience or in another video. Do let me know if you like to hear about it before I even make the video in the comment section. So if you like for me to talk about what my labor experience was like, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll do a video that is dedicated to that, because trust me guys, I have a lot of gist regarding that. So I had this baby, this tiny little girl, and the first thing that I think was a shock to me was how often and how much she needed to be breastfed. I didn't get it. Like, I just didn't understand that I will feed you now and in 10 minutes or 15 minutes they're bringing you back to me that she needs to suck. I'm like, dude, do you live for any other thing other than to suck my breast? Like, what exactly is going on? And I think the first thing that happened that was really overwhelming was that after I gave birth, I thought it was automatic to lactate, right? I mean, when you have a baby, you start lactating immediately. But no, that didn't happen for me. I didn't lactate for about 4 days. And the hospital that I gave birth, they were anti-formula. Like, they didn't want me to give her formula. And so they were just checking her glucose level and telling me to like keep putting her to breast, that after a while my body would understand that it needed to produce milk. And so this girl was hungry. They weren't giving her formula and I wasn't lactating. So I'm like, okay, so first task of being a mom and I'm already failing. How am I supposed to deal with this? It was just a very terrible feeling, because I'm like, okay, I brought this little girl to the world and I can't even feed her. And I was going through all of this emotional roller coaster, and I was asking people, how is it? Is it possible for you not to lactate? Because at some point I was thinking that, okay, is it that my breasts are never going to produce milk? Or I was asking the nurses and doctors that, do you ever see patients that don't ever lactate? And like, no, it never happens, that the milk will come at some point. And they're like, you just need to relax. They weren't making sense to me. And they were like, oh, I need to drink like a gallon of water. I'm like, how? I just went through like labor. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I want to sleep. And then you're putting all this pressure of like feeding this child on me. Can you give the child formula? And I'm like, no, formula is not good for the baby. Formula is like poison. And that's like a pressure that a lot of people that give birth in Nigeria, they go through. To the glory of God, on the 4th day, after going through all of this, started lactating little by little. And then this girl wanted to suck like every time. Like every goddamn time. I thought I could like give birth and then jump back and start filming and doing stuff, going out and doing things like that, and I couldn't do anything because she was constant. She constantly wanted to suck. She constantly needed me. She wasn't taking formula. Before I gave birth, I used to think that you can leave your baby, pump some breast milk, somebody will feed the baby, it's going to be like a smooth sail. Nothing can be as autopilot-y as that, you know. Pump some breast milk and drop it at home while you leave your nanny with the baby, and then you can go out and do all the things that you want to do. But guys, the first time I connected a breast pump to my boobs, I was in tears. That shit is painful. Over time, I've gotten used to it, but the first couple of times I did that shit, it was so painful. And I think it was related to the fact that I wasn't lactating yet, so my boobs were dry and I was trying to pump what was in there. That thing was so painful, and then people were telling me to just keep trying, and at some point I just started crying that this thing is awful, is painful, like I don't even want to pump again. Whatever she cannot suck directly, I'm not even interested. So I just packed the pump, and I never touched it for like the first 3 months or something, because I couldn't even stand seeing a breast pump. I just used to remember how painful it was. I'm like, I'm not here for this pain. Pumping is not for me. I totally give up on pumping breast milk. So that was one of the things that made my mothering journey quite challenging, because then I had to always be available to like breastfeed directly, and that literally just leaves you useless, because I had a baby that always wanted to suck. I had a baby that wanted what she wanted when she wanted it. She wasn't the kind of child that was quiet. I want to eat now, you're not ready, okay, I'll manage. She wanted what she wanted, and if she didn't have it, she was going to scream her lungs out. Another thing was that her cries used to get into my brain. That was another thing that I think that I wasn't prepared for. I didn't know. I thought that, okay, if a child wanted to cry, you let the child cry. When the child finishes crying or tired of crying now, child will keep quiet. When I had a baby and she started crying, every time I heard the cry, like it was like some nuts in my brain used to lose. I mean, I would literally go crazy and I'll start crying like, what does she want again? What am I supposed to do that I haven't done? She needs to suck. Okay, I'm putting her to breast. She's not sucking. She's still crying. What could be wrong? Like, it was just a lot of emotions that I was feeling at the same time those first couple of weeks, and I wasn't prepared for those feelings. And I think that's why it was like so intense. I was used to like living my life by myself, doing the things I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, sleeping when I wanted to sleep, and then I had this child, and just overnight I couldn't sleep. I was tired. I had all the help that I could get. My mom was around. My mom has literally been around since I had a baby, even before I had a baby, and she's still around till now, helping me. I have a girl that also helps me, and I was still really overwhelmed those first couple of months. And it just leaves me to wonder that some people do these things and they literally have no help whatsoever. Like, I wonder what they go through. I never really like appreciated the kind of jobs or the things that our mothers did until I experienced, or I had my experience, and then I'm looking at my mom in a whole new light, like, so you actually went through all of this. So I'm just like, people really need to know, people really need to be prepared before like venturing into this business. It's going to take a lot from you. I can promise you that having a child is going to take a lot from you. And it's going to, and there are times you're going to feel so helpless. There are times you're going to feel so overwhelmed. There are times you're going to cry. I used to cry a lot. I would cry to my mom. I'll cry to my husband. And everybody just used to say that it will get better. And I used to wonder that at what point do I start feeling better? At what point do I get out of this phase where I'm feeling so helpless and overwhelmed? At what point does it become like, okay, this is life, I'm enjoying it? Like, I really wanted to enjoy being a mother, but I wasn't enjoying it the first couple of months at all. I was really sad. And then I did some research and I found out that, okay, they say people actually go through these things and it's called baby blues. And I kind of like could relate with it, because that was exactly I was feeling. I would cry. When she cries, I will cry. When she's sleeping and I'm trying to sleep, just as I try to sleep, she wakes up again, and then I'll cry some more. Everybody just tell me that you'll be fine, don't worry, you'll be okay. And I used to think that they didn't know what they were saying. But I mean, one day, I can't even, it didn't happen overnight, but over time, I think I got used to the routine. I was intentional about certain things. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm like, you know what, I'm going to come on here and share some of the tips and things that I did to survive that whole phase that I don't even like to remember. I'm going to be sharing some of those things with you guys, and I hope that it helps somebody out there that is struggling, or that is where I was like some months back. And yeah, hopefully we all come out stronger. So the first thing that I realized, or the first thing that I came to terms with, is the fact that 2020 is a very challenging year, but God has given me a gift that money can buy, a gift that is priceless in this 2020. So for that 2020, I can't say has been a terrible year, because I have something that I can't put a price to it, something that is everything to me. And even though the whole corona thing and everything that's going on in the world has not made the journey as easy or as good as it should be, I still have these gifts that I cherish and also there. So first of all, I learned to appreciate God for this child that he has given me, because then you realize that, or you know that a lot of people want the same gifts that you want, and they will happily go through these things that you are going through if God will just answer their prayers. So I first of all left the place of like complaining and feeling misery. I kind of like tried to just be thankful and, you know, just have a positive outlook at everything, and that really helped me. You know, when people say when you have a child you fall in love with the child instantly, I believe that that is not true, because I didn't feel that way, and I'm not alone. I've spoken to a couple of people and they tell me that they didn't feel that instant love. Immediately I gave birth, I wanted to just be by myself. Like, I mean, I just gone through this kind of pain that I never knew that I could go through. I didn't want to deal with the fact that there was a baby. I wanted to just be by myself, figure out like my emotions, and like probably like rest a bit and just feel like myself again, like try to forget the terrible experience that I just went through. And I couldn't, because there's this child that constantly needs attention. And so that first couple of days, I didn't feel that attachment, I didn't feel that love. I felt more like amazed that, okay, so I gave birth to a human being, or I have a human being to take care of. That was more of like the feeling. It wasn't like that love that people used to talk about, and I believe that that's normal, so don't judge me. So one of the things, when my freedom started coming from was when I decided to start taking one day at a time. So for me, I think I was putting myself under a lot of pressure to do so many things. I wanted to get back to work. I wanted to get back to like filming. I wanted to get back to posting on Instagram, posting on YouTube. And I'm like, fam, this thing is putting so much pressure on me, and it's making me really, really sad that I can't meet up with my targets. I can't meet up with my goals. I can't do these things that I want to do so bad. So I decided that, you know what, I'm not going to like put myself under any form of pressure. I'm going to take it one day at a time. Whatever I can do, I will do. Whatever I cannot do, I can't do it, and I'm not going to beat myself up over it. Like, nobody's going to come and flog me that I don't have content. So first and foremost, I kind of like stayed off social media, because I mean, when you see people doing so many things, posting all of these things, it kind of like puts you under pressure, like, oh, I should be doing these things too, I should be getting better at my craft too. And it wasn't helping me, because I just to be constantly depressed, constantly sad that I can't do anything. I'm only tending to this child. And trust me, when you are a mom or you're a new mom, paying attention to just your child is not a crime, because this child needs all the love and all the attention that she can get, and that is what you are there for, to offer all of this to the child. So if some things will suffer during those times, please let them suffer and don't feel sad for it. Like, don't feel bad for it, because if you keep feeling bad, you're going to keep putting yourself under so much more pressure, and then it's going to be harder for you to get out of that phase of feeling depressed and feeling sad and moody. So I decided to start taking one day as it came. I mean, thank God for Corona and lockdown. I didn't have to like think about work so much. I didn't have to go out. People didn't need to come and visit so much. So I was just at home. I didn't have to just do so many things that a normal day I would have had to do. So first things first, take the day as it comes. Take it easy on yourself. Don't set unrealistic goals for yourself. You are new to a phase. You need to get used to that phase before you can be able to like incorporate it to your life and then start living your life as it was before. Another thing that really helped me was the fact that I had help. So I would advise that you get help as much as you can afford. Get help. You can't do it alone. I mean, like, people that do it alone, I don't know how you guys do it. I really don't know. I think it's a whole level of grace that you guys have, and I don't have it. So I think that the more help you have, they would help with the physical stress, but then there's still that mental stress. You're the only one that can help yourself out of that phase. Nobody can help you. But when it comes to like physically doing things, somebody washing clothes, somebody cleaning, somebody cooking for you, just doing all the physical work, somebody can take care of that, right? But when it comes to tending to your child, nobody can breastfeed your child for you. Nobody can help you out of feeling blue. You're the only one that can help yourself out of that. Babies are so demanding that there are times that they don't want anybody but you. And that is what you should just focus on, because nobody can do that for you. When your child decides that it is only you that he or she wants to be carried by, then those are things that you can't delegate. But you can delegate other things such as washing, cleaning, cooking, and stuff like that. And that is what I actually did. I didn't bother myself about certain things. Whether they were done, whether they were undone, done, I wasn't bothered. But of course, they were getting done, but not by me. Okay, so another thing that I had to do was that I had to like intentionally work on my mind and build my faith. I was really, really scared when I had a child that I hope I don't do anything wrong. I hope I don't make mistakes. I hope this child doesn't get sick. I hope nothing happens to this child. I hope I don't pull her or break her or something, because they're so tiny and they're so precious. Oh my God. So like my mom would always tell me that time that, Yemisi, it is not you that will see to this child. It is God himself that will make sure that this child is okay. It is not about what you know how to do. It is not about how you do the things that you know how to do, but it is God that will take care of this child himself. You don't think that all the work or all the pressure of making sure that this child survives is on you, that it is really, really on God. And I mean, I just started internalizing that thing a lot, because anytime I felt like, what am I going to do with this little one? I hope I don't throw her away one day, because she's always crying. I used to remember everything that my mom would say, that it is God that watch over this child. And so I just started building my faith that, you know what, I trust in you, God, that you're going to take care of this child for you. So this is your child first and foremost. You're the one that gave me this child as a gift, and you're going to be the one to take care of this child, to make sure that this child doesn't get sick. Every time I said that thing to myself, I used to feel better, and I used to ask God for strength. I'll be like, God, please give me strength. I feel so helpless. I feel so sad. I feel like I can't do this on my own. God, please, I need your strength. I'll be praying. I'll be crying. I know, like, I mean, my experience is that God actually listens to you, and you might not feel instant relief, but over time you just realize that what was like a big mountain in front of you is no longer there. And that is exactly what happened to me. When the strength came, I don't know. When the courage came, I don't know. I just knew that I got better at handling things. I got better at communicating with my child. I got better at communicating with even things and people around me. And I can for sure say that it was my prayers and God that helped me. Okay, another thing that I experienced is that everything that I said I will never do when I have a child, I ended up doing. Let me give you an example. I was the kind of person that would say that, no, if I have a baby, my baby is never going to sleep on my bed. My bed is just for me and my husband. The baby is going to sleep in his cot, or from the first day from the hospital. Never get used to sleeping with your child. And I would actually fault parents that allowed their child to sleep on their bed. Fam, when I brought my child from the hospital and I put the child in her crib, she was so tiny, and I felt like she looked so helpless. I'm like, no, I can't do this. I cannot do this. I carried the baby and put my baby on my bed, and we have been sleeping together ever since. Actually, she even sleeps on my chest. She just doesn't sleep on the bed. She sleeps on top of me. And that's one of the things that I said was never ever going to happen to me. But guys, it is happening. I'm not in competition with anybody. If you like say that it is bad parenting, whatever, as long as I can have peace. I just realized that a lot of the things that I faulted people for doing in the past, when I wasn't a mother yet, a lot of things that I said I was never going to do, I'm doing them, and I'm not sorry about it. That's just an example of some of the things that I said I was never going to do, and I'm doing. The remaining, I'm going to keep them and cover my shame. Okay, yeah. So another tip, as I think, which is, I kind of like mentioned that before, is that you need to pray a lot. I realized that when I had a baby, I couldn't even squeeze out time to pray, because I was always overwhelmed. Every time I wasn't doing anything, I just needed to sleep. And before I closed my eyes to sleep, this girl has woken up again and started crying. So like, I never had that zeal to like say I want to kneel down and pray and scabash. But I realized that every opportunity that I had, every time I remembered, I would always just say something positive. I would say a word of prayer over her. I would say a word of prayer over me. I would say a word of prayer over my family. I didn't dedicate a time to it. I didn't dedicate a place or a period for it. I just used to say. So like, I would just encourage you that if you're going through this kind of feelings, if you're going through this phase, you need to like pray a lot. Just talk to God, like express yourself to God and talk to him, pray, ask for what you want. And I mean, these things, they have a way of manifesting. This kind of prayers, they have a way of manifesting in such a way that it would even shock you when you look back and you're like, you're no more where you used to be. You're in a better place now. And I mean, you're still working on yourself. So definitely, you're even going to a better it's going to get better and better and better. Okay, another thing that really helped me that I would advise is that you should find somebody that you can talk to, find somebody that you can rant to, find somebody that you can talk to, and then you know that person understands what you are going through, because it really, really helps. If you're talking to somebody that has not been through what you have been through, they won't understand. I mean, I've been in that place before where people are telling me how overwhelmed they are, how sad they are feeling, how, and I never understood it. I never really even understood why people used to go through postpartum depression and everything. But after going through like that experience, I'm like, fam, this is what makes people depressed. It was a battle with myself to not enter depression. I'll be like, I will not be depressed. I can imagine people that don't now have help, that don't have supportive family around them, they're definitely going to get depressed. Like, they would definitely have depression. It's only God that can save them out of it. I always could talk to my mom, I could talk to my husband, and I had a friend that were pregnant together and we gave birth around the same time. So we used to like always talk to each other and encourage each other. When she's sad, I will lift her up. When I'm sad, she will lift me up and pray with me. And I mean, I just find out that those things are very, very important. We need somebody that you can talk to, that is supportive, that is understanding, that will listen to you. Just merely knowing that I'm not alone. People go through these things. It used to make me feel better. Kind of like used to help me to determine that I would get out of this phase. Yeah, another thing that I used to do as much as I could was that every evening myself and my mom would take walks. Like, we'll just take a walk, breathe in fresh air, like carry the baby out. And it used to help me. It helped with my physical health, it helped mental health. So I would definitely advocate for you taking walks and doing like physical activities. Lastly, I would like to say that there is no competition here. Being a mom, you're not in competition with other mommies. Nobody can be a better mom to your child than you are. So you need to know that feeling of inadequacy, that feeling of not good enough is just the devil playing tricks with your mind. You are good enough. You're the best mother for your child. You're doing the best that you can, and your child is going to be fine. The fact that your child is crying and screaming the whole house down does not mean that you are doing something wrong. I mean, this thing, my husband had to tell me over and over again that you're not doing anything wrong. She just needs to communicate, and the only way she knows how to communicate right now is to cry. So it's not because you're not doing the best you can do. It's not because you're failing as a mother. It's not because you're not giving her attention that she's crying. It's just because that is all that she knows how to do. Babies cry, and babies will continue to cry. So get used to the fact that this child will cry, and don't let it affect you so much. Remove any form of inadequacy from your mind. Just like take it easy, take one day at a time, and you will just realize one day that you're in a better place. You understand this child more. This child is happier. This child is like more playful. You know what she wants when she makes certain sounds. You know what she wants when she cries a certain way, and you can easily attend to her. And that's when the whole journey will start getting better. I'm not sad anymore, guys. I don't feel that feeling of helplessness anymore. Like these days when she cries, I'm just like, what do you want, baby? What can I do for you? How can I make you feel better right now? I'm just really, really thankful to God that I can come here and talk about these things now. I mean, I'm not looking forward to having another child yet. People say you forget the pain, you forget the stress. I've not forgotten the pain. I haven't forgotten the stress. And I'm not like, oh, I'm ready for another one. No. And I don't even know when I'll start feeling like I'm ready for another one. But I'm definitely in a much more better place. I can give my husband attention now. Those initial days, oh man, I was not even seeing him. But now I can look at my husband and not feel like he's the one that is causing all these things for me. So these are some of the tips that helped me, and I came here to share with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned one or two things. And if you're going through what I went through, or you've been through it before, please let me know in the comment section. Let me also know how you dealt with yours when you had a baby. Yeah, that would be pretty much what I have for you in today's video. I think I've spoken a lot. I've talked a lot more than I planned to. Please don't forget once again to subscribe if you haven't. Like, come on, let's move these numbers up now that I'm back. Thank you so much for watching today's video and for listening to me rant and ramble. I love you guys so much. I miss you guys and I'm glad to be back. Till I come your way next time, stay blessed, be good, and stay safe. Okay, stay safe. Goodbye.